It's your boy Neal back with another reaction video, guys. Here we are with why Max Verstappen bickers with his F1 racing engineer on the radio. Before we dive in, I know what I need y'all to dive into. Smash that subscribe button, ring notification bell, get a video a thumbs up so it gets suggested. Max! What we got?
Max Verstappen's latest dominant Formula 1 weekend was peppered with plenty of heated conversations with his race engineer Giampiero Lambiase. Fiery exchanges between Verstappen and the man often known as GP are nothing new and usually brushed off as banter that comes with their big brother-little brother relationship. But some of the scolding of Verstappen from Lambiase at Spa felt like a new level of needle between the pair, even if it did nothing to stop Verstappen from taking another Grand Prix win and certainly left no lasting damage in their rock-solid relationship. So how did Lambiase and Verstappen end up seeing things so differently? Why were they on each other's cases more at Spa? And what does it tell us about why they are such a great combination?
Talk to me.
Verstappen nearly being knocked out of Q2 on Friday was the first major flashpoint of the weekend. He just about scraped through to the pole position shootout in 10th place, but he was frustrated that inadequate battery charge and tyre temperatures almost led to missing Q3. That led to GP retorting, "You tell me what you want to do in Q3.
He said, I should have just effing pushed 2 laps in a row like I said. But you're through, Max. Yeah, I don't give a F if I'm through in P10. It's this ish execution. Yeah, through in P10 sucked. And Max and Suck belong nowhere near each other. He said, okay, and then when the track was 2 seconds quicker for your final lap, but you didn't have any energy left, how would that have gone down? He said, but you tell me what you want to do in Q3 and we'll do it. Let me know it says fuel run plan. I did hear this.
And we'll do
qualifying video.
So when Verstappen comfortably topped Q3, having very much rejected the sarcastic offer of organising his own run plan, he apologised to Lambiase for his rant. 8 years into their working relationship, Lambiase's amused response was to declare, "I'm just about getting used to it." Their next round of sparring came in the Grand Prix on Sunday as Verstappen and Lambiase discussed their strategy options as the threat of rain loomed while he was chasing teammate Sergio Perez for the lead. The coldest way to get Verstappen in front would be to bring him in first, let him unleash pace on new fresh tyres and comfortably undercut Perez, but this would be against the spirit of the team allowing the lead car on the road the strategy priority. Further complicating matters was a debate between a 1 and a 2 stop strategy. If it was going to be a 1 stop, they were nowhere near the window for that yet, so Verstappen would surely be free to attack and pass Perez during that first stint. However, Red Bull might also have wanted both drivers to avoid taking too much out of their tyres to make a 1 stop work. And if it was a 2 stop, then there could also be a pass without the risk of the teammates going wheel to wheel. Several times through that period, Lambiase cautioned Max to use your head please without making specific reference what to use it for. It was said enough times during the race that it's almost certainly a code phrase agreed beforehand, so Verstappen would have known its true meaning. Verstappen asked, "Are we doing it or what?"
That makes sense. That makes sense. They probably got some little secret code for sure. Use your head, please stand for something. We don't know.
But Lambiase told his driver to just follow instructions. Verstappen then said he wanted to know both cars, meaning he wanted to know exactly what Perez's options were and what he was being told. But Lambiase rebuffed him and once again instructed him to follow orders and to trust him. The debate over 1 or 2 stops was made easier when Mercedes brought Lewis Hamilton in for an early stop on lap 12 of 44 and Perez and Verstappen pitted in successive laps thereafter. Verstappen's first flying lap after pitting was almost a full second faster than Perez's. Teams tend not to like their drivers taking too much life out of a set of tyres straight away, but Verstappen was leaving nothing on the table, relentlessly chasing after Perez and breezing past him. It was very typical of Verstappen's ruthlessly brilliant mentality of maximum attack, but it clashes with an engineer's understandable wish to win at the lowest level of risk. Thereafter, Verstappen galloped away from Perez and the rest, often lapping as quick as 2 seconds per lap faster than Perez, so he soon drew the ire of GP again for pushing too hard. But Christian Horner's own conversations with Lambiase suggested the assessment that Verstappen was
except the engineers and performance engineers are living and breathing the data in front of them. They know the driver's driving style, they know what they're taking out of the car, and I was asking GP, I know what he's doing out there. He's trying to build up a gap for a pit stop. GP said yes. But actually, I think he's taking it pretty easy. All the metrics are massively under control.
Was pushing too much wasn't wholly accurate. After the race, Horner said he knew Verstappen was trying to build a gap to make an extra pit stop, more on that shortly, but Lambiase could see from the data that Verstappen was taking it pretty easy.
Wow.
That was clear too from Verstappen's onboards, where there was little sign of him pushing the RB19 to its very limit, even when he was way faster than Perez in the same equipment.
That's crazy.
It's something Verstappen insisted after the race too, claiming "I did slow down" when asked if he was ignoring orders. Then came the now routine debate over whether Verstappen should make an extra pit stop to push for the fastest lap bonus point, with Verstappen and GP assuming their usual positions on opposing sides of the debate. Verstappen even jokingly suggested it would give Red Bull's pit crew some extra training. While Red Bull relented in similar circumstances in the Austrian GP, Lambiase replied no, not this time, and Horner admitted that Red Bull didn't want to get too greedy or risk ending up with egg on our face. Verstappen
I swear to God, it's like, my boy want the sprint race first place, he want the Grand Prix first place, he want the fastest lap, bro. Verstappen wants it all. And he ain't trying to leave no crumbs for anybody else.
Shrugged it off after the race and joked he likes to mention it so they might get a bit nervous. And if you like the idea of facing up to all of the challenges of running a Grand Prix from the pit wall, then we've got something you'll probably be interested in. F1 Manager 2023 is here. Ever wanted to be in the hot seat on the pit wall? Now's the time to get your hands on the F1 management game, which gives you the chance to make all the key decisions and build your own legacy. The most authentic, comprehensive and dynamic F1 management experience to date, F1 Manager 2023 gives you unparalleled control of your chosen F1 team as you bid to become the next legendary team boss. Complete with broadcast-like visuals with onboard and trackside cameras plus a new visor cam view, F1 Manager 2023 features an all-new race replay mode where you can rewrite the season on your terms by either reliving a full Grand Prix from this season or by tackling a specific scenario that actually happened during one of this year's races. So what are you waiting for? If you've got what it takes to make all the crucial calls, order F1 Manager 2023 now and drive every decision.
I might want to get an F120. I might want to get F1. They got a driver everywhere where you can actually drive and not manage, right? That might be really fun. I feel like for so long, the only game I've been playing is NBA 2K and a couple Call of Duties in between. But it'd be cool to get an F1 game. That actually looked really fun.
You may be surprised that such tensions even arise given the magnitude of Red Bull's advantage, but it's a symptom of what our very own Scott Mitchell-Malm called Verstappen's white-hot intensity when discussing the subject on the Race F1 podcast. Much like Red Bull's original dominator Sebastian Vettel, Verstappen wants every single pole position, race win and fastest lap. Lambiase understands that better than anybody else, having worked with him since Verstappen was promoted from Toro Rosso after just 4 races in 2016. Prior to that, Lambiase had worked with the man Red Bull swapped Verstappen with, Daniel Kvyat, having personally impressed Vettel during his final year with Red Bull in 2014 when Lambiase had moved over from Force India, ironically where he was Perez's race engineer. Lambiase has witnessed Verstappen's rise from rough diamond to one of the greatest drivers F1 has ever seen, and yet he remains very much his equal. Despite Verstappen's climb to F1 superstardom, something GP has certainly played a part in himself, the dynamic between them hasn't really changed. Verstappen remains the occasionally errant young kid who needs to be reined in at times by the stern older brother, whose job it is to make sure Verstappen doesn't take unnecessary risks. And Max revels in that dynamic. On good days he'll play around with it, getting a kick out of winding up the big brother in their relationship. But relaxed mischief can turn to rage in an instant when the competitive pressure is on, and as with all relationships over the F1 radio airwaves, it's the engineer that takes the brunt of a driver's frustration and anger. When there are disagreements between a driver and an engineer at other teams, you may hear an additional voice, like Mercedes team boss Toto Wolff, have to jump on the radio to calm the driver down and make them obey.
I swear to God, yeah, some of them drivers, they be going at them engineers, bro, on that radio. And some of them be just, like, disrespectful, like, that Russian driver, dang, I forget what season it was and what his name was, bro. And I know it's not, like, it's just how he communicates. It wasn't that he was, like, trying to be, like, super disrespectful. But, I mean, when you're in a car, you're in the heat of the race, that competitive kind of energy just, like, swells up. And it's like, you're not trying to be mean. It just comes across a certain way. Like sometimes I've heard Yuki Tsunoda, and it's like he's not like they be telling the engineers like shut up, be quiet, all kinds of stuff. And but it's just that competitiveness, like building inside of them, and they're trying to focus as hard as possible because you know what I mean, driving is no easy feat, and so it's understandable. But it's like at the same time, bro, like you gotta understand, like you're talking to a person who does have feelings, who does have pride, who does, you know what I'm saying? Nobody wants to be talked to like that. So it's like you gotta find that balance with each, and it seems like Max and GP understand each other very well.
That's not really necessary for Verstappen. Instead, a change of tone from Lambiase usually does the trick. As our F1 reporter Mark Hughes puts it, there isn't a higher authority within Red Bull than Lambiase as far as Max is concerned. There's also regularly an insistence that this isn't bickering or any kind of genuine hostility. Horner specifically took issue with the word bickering on Sunday night at Spa, so he's probably not a fan of the title of this video. But when Verstappen was asked about his fights with GP, he replied, "Today we didn't fight," and claimed we were having a good time. Horner believes it's a sign that Verstappen has the extra capacity that many of F1's great drivers have demonstrated in the past to consider the wider racing picture while simultaneously crushing the opposition. And to match what Horner calls this demanding customer in Verstappen, you need an equally strong figure to help guide him. Red Bull has that in Lambiase, and Horner believes many race engineers would crumble under that pressure.
Facts.
Then, of course, there's the added pressure of knowing that every radio message will be relentlessly scrutinised by the listening public and the media. A bit like we're doing here. It's no longer just a case of hoping your message avoids the attention of the TV race director. In modern F1, every radio conversation is heard by someone somewhere, and the juiciest ones appear on social media within minutes of taking place. In the case of Verstappen and Lambiase, both can dish it out and both can take it. And when the dust has settled, there's never any lasting damage. The bond between them is too strong, the level of trust too high. That's why it works. Horner says Verstappen forgets these things immediately once he comes down from his personal rev limiter, although he added GP doesn't forget so quickly. Perhaps one day when Red Bull isn't as dominant, some of these tensions might blow into something more significant. But right now there's very little to suggest this relationship is combustible, it's just two tough operators butting heads to push each other to be even better.
This is dope. I like the race YouTube channel, so definitely go subscribe to them. They definitely give great videos. And yeah, it seems like Max and GP just have come to an understanding of each other very well, and they both know how the other operates. But that's all we got. You guys got a favorite video suggestion? You can subscribe to Patreon or drop it in the comment section. It's your boy D Neal. Out.